Dragoons are way out in front, so he's probably going to get some more kills here. He's got the Dragoons, actually has Dragoons popping out just at the right moment. More mines being laid down here. He's killing off more probes in the back. Very, very good little drop there. And now he's going to drop more stuff around the northern end. Oh, Free's expecting it, though. He's expecting it. He's got Dragoons over there. He's got an Observer there as well. But no, it's not going to be a Vulture drop. It's going to be a tank drop. He's going to drop tanks up there. I think that if he has range, those Dragoons still should be able to hit those tanks even all the way back there. Yeah, he's going to be able to hit him back there. Unless, oh, is he going to do some little the tricky micro there? He takes out one Dragoon. Can he pull back far enough to get out of range of the Dragoons? No, he's still within range of the Dragoons. They're going to have a little bit of a mischance firing up, though. And he's actually missing a lot. He just missed that tank 3 out of 4, 4 out of 5, 5 out of 6 shots at that tank missed. And Free is now like, oh, come on. You've got to be kidding me. Seriously, 5 out of 6 shots missed. It's not supposed to be that much of a mischance. Anyway, now he's finally getting some hits on there. All of those shots hit, and then another miss. Finally takes out that tank, but he's lost more mining time at that base. He had to pull probes away, and Free's gotten his third base up. I'm sorry, C. C has gotten his third base up, not Free. Free, for some reason, went for a Stargate. I guess he was going to try and go for fast Arbiters, which is pretty good on this map, actually. Arbiters can be very good. But look at there's Zero. Zero's thinking to himself, I better get ready for a TVZ, because I'm going to be playing soon, because my buddy Free is getting owned left and right. And C is really doing a good job of keeping the pressure up. He's not letting the advantage go to his head. He's keeping this pressure up, and he's keeping expanding. He's keeping macroing. He's probably got several tanks in his main now that he's just waiting for the chance to move out with his main tanks and just do a big push, basically. He's basically, I mean, that's kind of the way that Terrans work oftentimes in these macro games. Look, you can see he's throwing away these Vultures, macroing up his Vultures, and at the same time he's just slowly pumping out as many tanks as he can with as much gas as he has, and then reinforcing with Vultures, and then you kind of don't waste the tanks, and then eventually build up a sizable force of tanks from having just spent Vultures and only lost Vultures. No, not Arbiters. Carriers, okay. Carriers can also be very good on this map, though. So we'll see what we can do with that, especially attacking like one of the expansions. There's usually a ridge behind the expansion, so it's hard to defend both sides of the expansion at once. The carriers can make good use of that. Here he comes in for another drop, though. He's got, what is he going to do here? Tanks? Yeah, more tanks up top, though, but these are going to die immediately, though. It's kind of a sloppy move by C there, actually. But he can afford, excuse me, he can afford to be a little bit sloppy at this point. He's got such a huge advantage. Excuse me. Sorry. Sorry about that. Anyway, C has a huge advantage. Free is going to try and kind of fight back in with carriers. Carriers, I think, probably an okay idea. I mean, when you're way behind, carriers sometimes, if you can get 5 or 6 carriers out, and your opponent doesn't expect it, although C does, then you can kind of regain some advantage, especially if you can get that critical mass of carriers around, 7 or 8 carriers with full interceptors. You can really just start to punish the Terran really well and force him back, which is a major thing. It's not just the damage to the army, but you can kind of force the engagements to be where you want them to be with the carriers. By threatening to just overrun a base very quickly and that kind of thing. He's doing a little bit of harassment here. Here comes the carriers out. He's got some Dragoons to accompany as well, which is pretty good. Otherwise, the Goliaths would just be able to run in and pick off those carriers. But yeah, C knew this was coming. We saw him build some armories earlier on. May have just been actually for, well, he saw the Stargate earlier, so he kind of knew what was going on. He has 3 comset stations, so he's probably been scouting up the entire base, the entire 2 bases of Free to see what tech is going on there. Oh, wow. That would have been epic if he drew at mine into his own probes, chasing that Vulture. Free now moving out with his carriers. He's being forced to fight with these carriers, even though they have almost no interceptors. And it looks like they are probably going to go lose most of their interceptors. They may even die if they get any closer there. But C has decided to move out with just a few tanks, actually. And this could be a mistake. Yeah. I don't know. He doesn't spread himself too thin. I mean, he knows that Free doesn't have much, but Free were to put down some gateways and really pump out some zealots and then charge out of there, he could destroy C's entire force very quickly. But it looks like he doesn't really have the money. I mean, he's only got the 2 bases, so he doesn't really have the money to build lots of carriers and lots of ground forces, so he's forced to just go with building more carriers and just retaining just a few Dragoons. And he's got Dragoons going in for a bit of a counterattack, a really smart move, going to try and cut off those reinforcements. It's a really, really good idea because the 1 or 2 tanks and a few Goliaths are going to be a lot easier to deal with by themselves than if they're with the whole group. It looks like C has set up a nice little siege there, though. He kind of expected it, so he set up one of his siege tanks to just siege up, and he's got Goliaths in front to protect, and Free does not quite have enough Dragoons to break through that. And now C slowly pushing in here against Free's natural expansion, and Free really should have like 3 or 4 bases right now. He's only got the 2. Some SCVs coming in there as well to put up some turrets just to protect the tanks. He's got a bunch of Goliaths. The Goliaths a little bit threatened by the Dragoons though, but Free, another blunder, sending in a group of Dragoons from the right and then a group of Dragoons from the left. If he'd sent them both in from both sides at once, that would have been a good idea, but he decided not to do that. And Free, yeah, I think he's known that he lost the game since those Dragoons died. You know, that was not the laugh of, oh my god, that was funny. It was the laugh of, oh my god, I'm such an idiot. I just lost this game. Oh well, I'll try and, you know, try and do what I can. Wow, and now he's just going to suicide his carriers in an attempt for a counterattack too. It's all he can really do is try for a counterattack. Probably not the best route to take right there. So yeah, Free finally GG's. Free finally GG's. C has beaten him. No, C did not beat Free. Free beat himself. C is very excited for the win though, taking it to a final match. We're going to see an ace match, a game 7 between C and Zero, the hard-hitting, absolute crazy monster players of both teams are going to be facing off in a final death match to see who goes on to the finals. That's going to be exciting. See you then.